Do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Hey, everybody, Dr. Willie Jolley and my beautiful bride.
This is Dee.
And we want to say welcome, welcome, welcome to the Jolley Marriage Show here live from Washington, D.C. at our Jolley Marriage Show studio, which is really the kitchen in our home. Everybody wants to know about where do you do the show? What's the studio? It's our home. Okay, that's it. So, and we have made this our kitchen, and we have a couple studios that we do things in this home that were part of COVID. That we have a studio for doing my XM show, a studio for doing our daily 1-minute videos, my daily radio shows on Radio 1 stations. We got different studios in our abode. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the Jolley.
We have all kinds of different studios. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All the sizes of closets?
Well, some are small, some are big. Some are bigger. Where I do my XM show is bigger. But they're convenient. Hello, Greg and Linda, watching from home. Hopefully you're sitting around your fire pit on a beautiful, it should be warm there.
A fire pit?
They have a fire pit.
I know, but I don't think they have it on at what? It's 89 degrees here. What is it now?
Yeah, pretty hot here too. It's 80 degrees.
Welcome.
Well, anyway, welcome. Christina Harris 9411 joined. Welcome, and others are joining. We are grateful for all of you who have shared this with your friends, and they say right after the show they're going to sit in a fire pit. See, I told you, I knew it.
Okay.
Well, we're grateful for all of you who've shared this show with your friends and family members, your co-workers, the people in your communities, and you said you should tune in. 9 o'clock on Monday nights. We've been doing it for about 5 or 6 years now. We haven't missed any Monday nights. We've been doing it.
It's not 5 or 6 years, is it?
I don't know how long it's been. It's been a long time.
I think at least 4.
Okay. Well, during COVID, definitely during COVID.
Yes, that's true.
And COVID is coming up on March for 4 years since COVID hit.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So, whatever. Welcome to everybody. We're the authors of the book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, 10 Secrets, Shape a Great Marriage. And we were happen to be blessed to be on Dr. Ravinia Brock, Dr. Rowe from TV, who is America's #1 nutritionist, interviewed us on her new morning show.
Last week.
Mm-hmm. They're going to air soon. But she talked about how this book saved her marriage and how it literally kept her and her husband from divorce court. And they were able to heal their marriage and go on and have a great marriage. And unfortunately, he passed away from cancer, but they were happily married when
last year. He passed away.
Yeah, last year.
Last year? Going on 2 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are grateful that she was able to give us that great endorsement. And she actually wrote the foreword for the book.
You know what I think, though? I think the difference in couples who struggle and figure out how to stay happily together is that they're willing to listen and implement the strategies. She was willing, she and Riggy, listen. Because they cared about each other and said, let's figure out how to make this work.
Right. So they
That's
did.
the difference.
They did. Well, the question is, do you want a happy marriage? That's the question. Do you want to be happily married or miserably married? That's the question. And if you want to be happily married, then you would do the things that others are doing who are happily married. And if you don't want to be happily married, then you do the things that people do who are miserable.
Well, they end up not being together.
That's correct. Well, some they stay together miserable. You know, statistics show that 50% of people marriages break up. And of the 50% that remain, 40% of those people are miserable and stay in the marriage for one or two reasons: the kids or the costs, the finances. They don't have time. They don't have the money to leave. So we want you to not be miserable, staying in a miserable marriage when it could be a happy marriage if you just use the principles.
If you're with people that get on your nerves and drive you crazy, it adversely affects your health.
Yes.
Okay, let's get to the topic.
Let's get to the topic. So the topic tonight is one that we want to address, and it's watch your words.
Why do I care about watching my words as it relates to my mate?
Because your words often, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's a lie. Sticks and stones will break your bones, and words can break your heart. And
destroy your relationship.
Many marriages break up because of words.
Mm.
Words that were spoken.
So let's get to this one of the special words.
Yeah, we might be on this for a few weeks, because this one is a topic that about watch your words. The first word we're going to talk about is a word we've all heard. We all know people who use it, and it's a simple word. And it's simply whatever. 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 That word, one word, simple word. How many letters are it? 2, 4, 6.
It's really 2 words squished together.
Well, it's 8 letters. Whatever. Not a good idea. And people use that when they are in disagreements, in arguments, and it kills marriages.
All right. So the word dismiss is dismissive.
It's
like, I don't care.
I don't care. I'm dismissing you. You're not important. Mm-hmm. What you're saying is not important. You're not valued. It's disrespectful. It's dismissive. And it's a bad choice.
So when you say whatever, you're dismissing how I'm feeling if I'm trying to express myself to you.
Correct. So let me make for the record. We've been married going on 39 years. Haven't had an argument in over 37 years. But we learned the principles that kept it from arguing. Let me finish. And we put the principles in the book. And that's why we encourage people to get 2 copies of the book. And they can read it at the same time. In the 39 years we've been married, I have never said to her, whatever. Never.
That's not a part of our vocabulary. It's really kind of interesting.
We have never said it to either, but it's because we've always maintained a level of respect for each other. Now, we don't always agree. Now, I will confess. Now, let me confess. Be honest. Honest. Not that I didn't think about it. Somewhere along the line where she was fussing about something maybe years ago or nagging me. We told somebody never nag, because when we were early on, I told her nagging.
But one of the things that we've always done is to communicate how what you were saying or doing was affecting.
Well, we didn't do it the first couple earlier. Once we learned the principles of how to stop.
Well, we learned how to say it.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you, in the tough years, those first few years, I never said to her when she might have gotten on my nerves, I never said, whatever. I never. I did think it once or twice, but I would not let it come out of my mouth because of a level of respect. That's what I wanted to get to.
Yes.
The level of respect that we have for each other.
I can remember.
Yes.
You could not put the desk together.
We were talking about that Sunday. So I spoke at a church on Sunday in College Park, Maryland. I want to shout out everybody at First Baptist Church of College Park, and to Pastor Stephen Wright for his 25th anniversary, where they asked me to be the special guest speaker.
Lovely wife. They were lovely. They were so
lovely,
warm, and inviting.
Lovely. So anyway, when we left there,
can I add?
Oh.
They're near the University of Maryland, and one of their charges, their new charges, is to go out into the University of Maryland community, because it's in their backyard, and invite these children to church.
Right. So we leave the church to go to the luncheon, where they're having the luncheon for the pastor.
And we go by a Wawa.
We go by Wawa, stop and get some coffee. And next to the Wawa, next to the hotel, was an IKEA.
And I said...
And my wife reminded me of an experience she had when we were early married. Why don't you tell her an experience? I'm not ashamed of it, because I'm going to and I'm going to augment whatever you say.
Whatever I say.
I'm going to add to it.
Newly married, living in my Jolley's, his mother's attic.
Attic.
No bathroom on the. Was it the third floor?
Third floor.
No bathroom on that.
I have to go down a narrow set of steps to get to the bathroom.
On that third floor. And I think I was pregnant, and we couldn't get a king size bed of it. It must have been just a regular size bed, but we did not have a desk.
Right.
So I went to IKEA and bought a put together desk. You know, IKEA has
in the box.
In the box. And
come home and you put it together.
Brought it home. Well, they loaded in the car. Willie had to guess, I got a desk. And I made the assumption that because my daddy can do anything.
A handyman.
Everything.
Yep.
That Willie was going
My new husband
was going to be able to put this desk together.
Not was going to be able to do it. Was going to put the desk together.
He was going to put the desk together because we needed a place to write, right? Take notes, not downstairs on the kitchen table, but we needed our own. I was trying to create a little private space for us.
Right. In the attic. It's a one-room attic. It's a one-room attic about the size of this kitchen or a little smaller.
A-shaped ceiling.
Right.
So we were right up A-shaped ceiling. So everything was like right in the middle. And the desk would slide right into one. I think they call it the eave. Would slide right in there. And I discovered that he was not my daddy. And that meant he couldn't put anything.
I keep saying couldn't, didn't, or wouldn't.
Okay.
I want to make sure we are clear. There's a difference between the ability to do something and the desire or the.
I don't even think you got there when you said
I don't do that. That's basically it. I don't do that. I don't put stuff together. I don't do that. So I was busy making money. So she got down on her little self with her little pregnant self.
Knees down on the floor, pregnant self. I didn't rant and rave.
No, she did not.
I did not.
She just went on to work.
I don't think it was because I had a great deal of wisdom. I was just kind of resigned. So, okay, I got to put this thing together.
Got to put it together. Yeah, and she did. She put it together beautifully while I was out working, making money.
Let's see what you were doing. You were out working. You were
singing somewhere. I was singing somewhere. Singing somewhere, singing. So the lesson she said when we left to IKEA was, you weren't my daddy. I said, this is true. And just as we've told people, when you leave your parents, you leave, you cleave, and you weave a new relationship, a new culture. I didn't do the handyman stuff, right? So.
And you still don't.
I still don't do it.
But you know what?
How about cutting the grass? Cut the grass for about 2 to 3 weeks when we first got in the house.
No, you did it for at least a year. But here.
And then I said, I'm not doing that no more.
Well, what had happened was we had the lawnmower.
Yes.
And we have a slight you have to come up several steps of stairs to the yard, to the porch. And so we have a slope. And I remember you pulled the lawnmower back and it was like over your toes.
It was too close.
And I said to myself,
don't need me to have no toes. No. So
that's the end of his cutting grass.
And I wasn't happy with it anyway. No. I said, that time of me cutting grass, I could be making some money and I could hire somebody for a portion of what the money I'll be making in that hour to cut the grass.
I think we're more sophisticated now that we can actually articulate.
Yeah, we can articulate it.
But back then, my observation, so we're out there pulling weeds. I mean, we knew with the house, we had plastic on the windows because the windows were old. I mean, our house was built in 1912. So we were trying to figure out all the things that we could do to save money, all of these things. And so you were cutting the grass. I was pulling the weeds. And as I watched you struggle with the lawnmower, I'm like, I have to do something else because this is not working for him.
No, that ain't gonna work. And I was trying to be a dutiful little husband, but that wasn't gonna work.
No,
I don't
he
cut
was not.
grass. And then we got a grass guy. I don't put stuff together. I got a handyman. I got stuff to do. I got books to write. I got speeches to give. I got songs to sing. I got shows to put on. Am I right?
I became the gardener.
She gardens good.
So
hey, look here. Greg Kazar said, I agree. I don't cut grass either. That's right about that. All right. So let's get back to the point.
But it's how we handle
that's the point.
Difference.
Yes, we were respectful.
Yes.
And that gets back to
Yes.
watch your words. Anytime you use that word, whatever, it's flippant, it's disrespectful, it's it's disingenuous. It's all the bad thing, and it's one word. But everybody knows that word in relationship, whatever. And it always is said with an attitude. It's not whatever. It's whatever.
But it prevents
community.
Prevents you getting to a solution.
That's right.
Because you ended your communication.
That you shut it down.
When you say you're dismissive, right? You're not respectful, and so you're not solving anything.
Nope. So
what we cut off communication.
You know, everybody who's watching should know that we give away the biggest chapter in the book. We give away free, and which is the communications chapter. Let me read this quote. Communication in marriage is like oil in your automobile engine. It can be messy to handle, but without it, your engine will run poorly and eventually will lock up and bust. So keep talking. Dr. Willie Jolley. That's my quote. Okay. Now, that said, what we say is that people have these different communication or lack thereof issues, stonewalling. Whatever is almost stonewalling. Stonewalling is, I ain't talking no more. I'm putting up a stone wall. Whatever is different though. Is one. I think whatever is worse than stonewalling. Now, stonewalling is bad. I don't recommend it. We tell you that. But let me tell you why whatever. Because
how do you see stonewalling?
Okay, stonewalling is this. You try to talk to me and say, I have said my last thing. I'm putting up a stone wall. I'm not talking about this no more. Okay, that's stonewall. Then you got silent treatment. The silent treatment is, I'm not talking to you. Okay, I'm not talking to you. But
act like you're not in the room.
Right. But let me tell you why I think whatever is worse. Because it is dismissive and disrespectful. You are not of value. I'm not, whatever. Your words are not of value, which means you are not of value, which means it's a personal condemnation or attack on you as a personhood.
So it's a personal affront.
Yes. And that's why I say to people, that's one of the worst words you can use. So answer to this question is, what do you do if your spouse uses the term whatever? One, you must go through the 4 F's that we talk about on
How does that make you feel?
That's what I'm going to.
Okay.
All right. If you go to the jolleymarriage.com, you'll see the TED Talk. Watch it. It's 11 minutes. But also have your spouse watch it. Because number one is be friendly. We're getting past that. But be frank about how that makes you feel. That's what Dee's saying. When you say whatever, why don't you say, let me tell you how that makes me feel. When you say whatever, what you have just said was, I'm not of value. You have devalued me as a person. Not just disrespected, but devalued. Nobody should be devalued. No one who is born on this earth that has breath in their lungs that God brought here should feel less than someone else. That's ungodly. That's unrighteous. That's just terrible.
You know, I think when they might not be, the person who says whatever is not really aware of how the words can hurt. But then again, sometimes people want to hurt.
Well, I think it becomes so cultural. That's why I wanted to address this. Because people do it because they see it on television. They see it on the reality shows. They've seen their parents do it. They've seen people do it in plays or movies, whatever. You know, and it's part of a cultural conversation. And what I want to say to you is don't do it. Develop. A friend of mine sent me his speech of him giving a speech at a very prestigious event. The governor was there and everybody. And he asked me my opinion of it. I said, it was a great speech. But you said, I said, you said so much that you didn't even know he said, I said, I said, when you get a chance, go back and count the R's. He called me and said,
oh, really?
He said, I can't believe how many R's. I said, I never noticed it.
Unconscious.
Unconscious do it because people do it as part of, we see people in speaking who say and I did it initially until I realized I was doing it. And then I was conscious of it. Many people are not conscious of the fact that they're valuing their mate, their spouse, their partner, the person they say they loved or love, and they do it because it's a unconscious part of a cultural experience.
Okay. So it has become a habit.
Yes.
It's a learned behavior, and if you can learn it,
come on,
you can unlearn.
Yes.
And the first step in unlearning is recognition.
That is that you did.
Yes.
So I want you all to make a commitment that you're going to put little notes around. I will never say whatever to my spouse again. I will never use that word. We will work through it. We'll talk through it.
So we want to nurture. I think I like that word. We want to nurture our relationships.
Right.
That really is the key.
You guys, I know you got a few minutes to tell about the different findings you found about whatever. Well, she always does research on every topic. I have the answers innately, so I can give them to you. She has to go. You need to and do the research. Go ahead, dear. But we only got a few minutes.
Thank you so much, sweetheart.
All right.
Just to reinforce the value of how we speak to each other. And there's a lot of research out there when you say, did you do research to reinforce that? That studies indicate that different forms of emotional expression affect relationships and how you are satisfied within the relationships. And dismissive responses, the first dismissive response of whatever may contribute to dissatisfaction and increase conflicts in relationships. Now, where did that come from? So that came from the Journal of Personality and Psychology and Social Psychology. And that was done back in 2005. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then there's research from conflicting couples investigating demand withdrawal patterns in marital interaction. And their research says dismissive responses, number one, whatever may contribute to withdrawal patterns. So when you say whatever to your mate, you're causing your mate to withdraw. Okay. Then there's research from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships, and the topic is conflict avoidance in romantic relationships. And the study investigated how attachment styles influence conflict. Again, dismissive responses like whatever may reflect an avoidant attachment.
Right. So do not use the word whatever in disagreements with your loved one, your family member, your spouse, your partner. I got to give a shout out to my nephew, Nate Impact Jolley is up. He said, "What's up, Uncle Willie and Aunt Dee?" Nate Impact Jolley is in Los Angeles. He's my nephew, my brother's son. He's my other son. He's my godson, the godfather to all of my brother's children. And I'm so proud of Nate and his beautiful wife, Shammy, and their two children. Two babies. Linus and Maestro. And Maestro was just a couple months old. And Nate came to me when he was getting ready to get married, and I gave him the advice I've given all of my married nieces and nephews. Love your spouse And use your parents as a model. His parents were a great marriage, and his dad passed, but
great role models.
We're great role models.
In terms
and then they'll use us as the other models.
How they work well together.
Work together and raise 7 children. Okay, and so anyway, let me read something to everybody from our book. It's on page 70. Formula for winning in communications. First and foremost, no drama. Whatever is drama. When you say whatever is drama. And then number 2, take deep breath. Before you say anything, before you utter anything, think. Lower your voice. Don't get loud and disrespectful. Think positive. Think win-win. Think sweet. As one of my mentors said, you can force your way through by hollering or getting loud, or by using honey. Honey is much sweeter. Ask yourself what evidence you might use to convince your spouse to see it from a different perspective. Tell a story. Maintain respect.
Story creates a head-heart connection.
There you go. And maintain respect in your conversations. Even if you disagree, you can do so without being disagreeable. Never say whatever.
Because it really is all about emotion.
Yeah.
So we go back the importance of the head-heart connection to get people to pay attention. Because when you tell that story, you're creating a head-heart connection. And what people feel is what they remember the most.
Right. Oh, by the way, you look mighty cute tonight.
Thank you.
I think I'm gonna keep you.
It's bedtime. He's working. Thank you, sweetheart.
It's almost bedtime?
It's almost bedtime. Okay, one more thing. I got one more thing.
All right, go ahead.
Because this week we're running into the 1st of May. International Workers' Day is
what they call May Day.
Okay.
It became known as May Day.
Okay. We've got May 4th. Did you know May 4th is called Star Wars Day? And it's a big deal.
May the force be with you.
It's a big deal in the film industry and other places where they dress up. There's a whole
generation of things. And then May 5th is Cinco de Mayo, 5th of May. Okay. So look,
Mexican Independence Day, and then
Mother's Day coming up.
Mother's Day.
Make sure if your mama's still alive that you bless your mama some way, somehow. I was telling a guy who came to my one-man show, had a one-man show. He was supposed to come, but his mother was ill. And he said, I'm so sorry I can't come. I said, if I had to make the choice between my show and your mama, I would tell you, go see your mama. But I wish I could see my mama. I wish I could see my mama. So I will see her one day, hopefully not in the next, soon, but one day I'll get to see mama again. But right now I got work to do here on this earth realm. So our time is just about up. I want to thank all of y'all. Remember, go to jolleymarriage.com. jolleymarriage.com. First, watch the free TED Talk. Free. It's only about 12 minutes. Watch it with your spouse, your partner, your significant other. The two of you watch it. Then, if that moves you, which it will, go to jolleymarriage.com. Get 2 copies of the marriage book. Read it together. Each one read a chapter. At the end of each chapter, discuss what you learned in that chapter through all chapters. And then at the end of the book, you will see change. And after here's one more thing. When you finish, you get 2 copies. You put one on your bookshelf, and then you bless somebody, another couple, with that other copy. See, what I'm telling you to say that I'm saying to you, you say to them, bye. I'm giving you a copy. Order another copy from the Jolley website, and y'all read it together. We're gonna save many marriages.
So you want to think kindness.
Kindness.
You want to think sweetness. So even when you disagree, this is the person that you love. That together you will build a better life.
Absolutely. Well, that's what we've done.
Yes.
39 years. Haven't had an argument 38, 37 years. And we build it through kindness. I have never said whatever. And she has never said whatever. We talk it through. We work it out. We never go to bed angry. So we don't take today's problems into tomorrow. We don't let the sun go down on our wrath. And we always give God the glory, and we're kind to each other. And it's good. So good when it's going good. And it's going good for 37, 8 years now. So I'm encouraging people, if possible, do it. Thank you, Nate. He said, y'all have given great advice. We thank you.
Thank you,
For
sweetie.
all of y'all who watched. Gladys Pemberton, I know you're watching either now or on the replay. Love to you and Ron. To Linda and Greg Kazera and all our other friends. Thank y'all for joining us. We're going to go out on my jazz song. Greg said, good stuff. Thank you. And look, the jazz one-man show was just phenomenal. Y'all going to have to come to the next one. But right now, go out for my song for my jazz album. Thank you, Jerome Washington. He said, great show. All right, here we go.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you.